Greetings from Paha Sapa, the center of all that is, the place where the Lakota people come to pray for the state of the world. Stan Jabalisco here, proprietor and operator of amateur radio station W1GV Whiskey 1 Golf Victor. The date, December 30, 2013. The time, 2:48 p.m. Mountain Standard. That would be 21:48 Zulu. We're listening to W1AW's code practice session at 13 words a minute right now on 40 meters, which is kind of interesting. It's coming in over a mostly daylight path, but not particularly well, on an antenna that is really very, very much suboptimal for this band. The real strength of this antenna is on the 20 meter band. That's where it's resonant. Vertical antenna, 22 feet high, loaded at the base with a 50 picofarad capacitor. So it's a little longer than a physical quarter wavelength, but the capacitor makes it an electrical quarter of a wavelength. And it gives it a little bit of it's a cool design, actually. It gets the current loop elevated a little bit up, and it provides for a better impedance match than you would get with an actual quarter wave vertical antenna. Someday I'll make a video about, well, I think I have made a video about that somewhere in my immense repertoire of yammerings. Note that W1AW is coming in quite well on 14 megahertz today. Very well on 18 megahertz. Now remember, the path is between Connecticut and South Dakota, right across the northern tier of states, I guess. Looking at my map here, it would go across New York, probably Lake Erie, Lake Huron, Lake Michigan, a little bit of Lake Superior, possibly. Well, no, upper Michigan, I guess. Then across over northern Wisconsin, where my parents have a cabin in Hayward, where it's probably 30 below zero right now. Over southern central Minnesota, and then back across South Dakota to Paha Sapa in the fastnesses of the hills. So here we be. 21 megahertz, same path, pretty good propagation, but when you go up to 10 meters, they are not there. So the maximum usable frequency between Paha Sapa and Newington, Connecticut, or between W1GV and W1AW lies somewhere between 21 and 28 megahertz. So that means maybe it wouldn't be such a bad idea to give a listen on this band, 24 megahertz, even though W1AW isn't here. 890, the lower limit. My radio beeps at me a little bit there. I've got it in the upper sideband mode, as you will notice, but the filter set at 1.5 kilohertz wide. That's what I normally use for phase shift keying reception. It's not so good for voice, but I can widen it out. CQ. Now, Papa Yankee 2, that would be Brazil. So we're hearing Brazil on just a little bit below 25 megahertz. So the next test, of course, then is a check of the Chaos Band. I can't do nothing with you either, buddy. $27.065, that's channel 9. I had a pair of walkie-talkies back in the 1960s that used this channel. Now it's for emergencies, supposedly. That's channel 11. That's a popular channel. for general use. I have a CB radio sitting in my garage right now. Anybody want to buy it? I'll sell it to you for $1. That's about how much it's worth to me. Well, it's not even worth that because it's not even been used. It's worth less than nothing. It's junk to me, even though it's a brand new, very nice CB with a little antenna also. I just couldn't use CB. I mean, I was hoping it would provide short-range emergency communications on the highway, and I found out otherwise real quick. If you get caught where there's no cell phone coverage, no repeater coverage on ham radio, 2 meters or 440 megahertz or 220 megahertz, none of those have repeaters that are within range of you. You're stranded somewhere, say in West Texas or even in parts of Wyoming near where I live, or maybe even parts of South Dakota, I don't know. You get stranded out there, no cell phone coverage because there are no cell phone repeaters, no ham radio repeater. The only thing you got left, CB isn't going to do you a bit of good unless you're really lucky. So the only thing left is HF ham radio. Like, for example, you could get on to 20 meters with a mobile radio from your vehicle and stranded somewhere in the western fastnesses of Wyoming or Texas or somewhere like that, somewhere way out in the middle of nowhere, Nevada. And you could get someone, say in, I don't know, Michigan, to call the highway patrol in your state for help to come and get you. If it works, who's gonna complain about it? A little bit roundabout way. But that's why I'm thinking about getting a little Yaesu radio for my vehicle. They've got a really cool little one. It's I forget what it's called, but it's only about the size of a 2-meter transceiver, but it covers all the way from 160 meters down to 70 centimeters. Really cool little radio, it sounds like. Or I could just yank this old IC746 Pro right out of this nerd cave and stick it in big number 8. Strap its seatbelt in so it won't go flying around when I come to a screeching stop for some reason, and use it. And a homebrew mobile antenna. I've always wanted to try one of those like ISO loop antennas as a mobile antenna. You know those things? MFJ makes one too. A little loaded loop. It'd be cool to try as a mobile antenna, but I'll bet it'd make a lot of noise when you're going 75 miles an hour down the interstate into a 40 mile an hour headwind. That'd be a Category 2 hurricane. I bet it would scream. You have to have the thing anchored with special wire, but it would probably work. I'll bet it would work. Someday I'll try it. Now I'll probably get comments and probably get stopped by the highway patrol, and all sorts of crap. Oh well, that's life. Stan Jabalisco from Pahasapa, the center of all that is, and the ground where the Lakota people come to pray for the state of the world. And the world sure needs it. I'll attest to that. Until next time, 73, and so long.